Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Stephanie. I'm a life and relationship coach. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to click the subscribe button down below. So this week, I want to get into your relationship with a narcissist and the illusion that it actually was. And I think a lot of people who are coming out of these relationships, if you're going through a divorce, if you're going through a breakup, there is a different type of grieving that goes on after this relationship because majority of that relationship was an illusion. It was a fantasy. It didn't really exist. And when you start to learn about MPD and personality disorders and toxic people and things like that, you start to kind of understand, wow, this person didn't really love me in the way that I thought that they did. They're not capable of loving in the way that I thought they were. So let's get into this relationship because there are a lot of questions in here in this video that I'm going to answer for you that I know a lot of people struggle with and they really obsess over time and time again. So one thing that I want to start off with is any person who is in a relationship with someone who has NPD or possibly even really, really high on that spectrum is going to experience the same type of treatment that you did. It may not look exactly the same. It may not happen exactly the way it happened to you, but this person is not going to change who they are because it takes a huge amount of taking responsibility for your own self in order for change to actually happen. And I coach people every day, and even healthy people really, or people that don't have a personality disorder that do have self-awareness, it takes a lot of work in order to not only just like heal from your past, but it takes work in order to really, really change who you are at the core. So that's not going to happen with someone that definitely has a personality disorder. So since no matter who the partner is, since that person is going to always experience the same stages of abuse that you did or that you are, the only question becomes, when is it going to happen? The reason why I kind of start with this is because most people really obsess about their partner when the relationship has ended. They wonder about either the new supply or the new person, and they always ask the same questions. Is this person going to change? Is this person capable of changing? Are they going to change for this person? They are going to change in terms of who the other person is standing against them or in front of them. So depending on who that person is and what they're willing and not willing to tolerate, where their standards are compared to where yours were, is going to determine who that person, the narcissist, becomes, the character that they kind of conform to in order to please this person, in order to gain the trust, the admiration, the love, all of those kind of things, which is basically narcissistic supply. And once that is secured, once that supply is really secured, then the abuse actually starts. So the two questions are, who is this new person? And when is the narcissist going to actually expose themselves? Because both of those things are a huge factor in the illusion of narcissistic relationships. Now, whether the relationship was yours and you're kind of grieving and mourning the illusion that you thought, hey, I was actually in a loving marriage. Hey, you actually unconditionally loved me. Hey, we took our vows. We were supposed to be together forever. You were supposed to really try hard. You weren't supposed to abuse me. You weren't supposed to lie to me. You weren't supposed to gaslight me, whatever, all of that stuff. Or if the illusion is what you're seeing on social media or what you're seeing with their new partner, it doesn't really matter. What matters is who is the person that they're in a relationship with and what are they willing to tolerate, and at what point is the narcissist going to repeat the same pattern behaviors time and time again, because they always do. So you have to understand the person that's in front of them, especially like a new partner or a new source of supply, that person knows really nothing about this narcissist. They know nothing about the man or the woman in front of them. They are doing exactly what you did, which is believe the illusion that this is actually real love. They are believing the illusion that this person has their best interests at heart. They're believing the illusion that they're going to remain faithful, that they're not going to manipulate, that they're not selfish. It's all these kind of stories that they want to feed to make themselves feel good about the relationship that they're in. Now, if you did it, then the next person's gonna do the same thing as well, because they're coming from low self-esteem. They're coming from their own wounds, their own insecurities. And in order to face the reality of who's in front of them, they have to deal with how either that makes them look or they have to deal with the disappointment that, wow, I'm actually not in the relationship I really thought I was in. And most people don't like to face that mirror. So I get a lot of questions from people that will say, you know, this person is already in a relationship longer than what I was in with this person, and they're treating this person so much better than the way I was treated. You know, here's the thing, is that everything that you're thinking is just stories that you're creating about pictures and images or things that you're seeing on social media or possibly even seeing in their lives. They possibly could be doing more for this next person than they did for you. Their relationship could be lasting longer than yours actually did. But remember, you are not that person. You are a person that for some reason stopped giving this person what it is that they wanted, and that is the best compliment you will ever get in your entire life. Someone that has narcissistic personality disorder, that stays in a relationship for a long period of time, is with someone who gives them really, really good supply. And with good supply comes manipulation, comes lying, comes cheating, comes selfish behavior. So it comes with that long-term relationship, also comes all the dysfunction that you saw in the course of your relationship that you didn't want any part of, and you either started holding the person responsible or holding them accountable for their actions, or you started demanding more of this person and they were like, whoa, that's not going to happen. You need to be okay with exactly what I'm going to give you, which is just the little crumbs that I'm able to actually give. So that relationship, that new relationship, may actually last longer if he or she, new partner, is perfectly fine with what they're getting from the toxic person, the narcissistic person, what have you. So if they're okay with it and this is all that the person's giving, then yep, match made in heaven, and it's going to last forever and ever. I will say though, in long-term relationships, one or two things are always going to happen. The person, the new supply, the new girlfriend, the new boyfriend, whatever, is going to hit a point where they're going to want more. Because anytime you get used to something, you always want a little bit more. So even if the self-esteem is so low in this person to just take whatever comes along, at some point over a long-term relationship, they're going to want a little bit more. And this is where they're going to start to raise the bar a little bit. And this is where the person's going to say, nope, not capable. Or maybe they actually do give them what they need on some levels. But remember, with everything that a narcissist will give their supply, there's also, it's like tit for tat. So if they're going to give them what it is that they need, whether it's like more time, gifts, you know, intimacy, whatever that looks like, number one, they're never going to be able to have an actual human, emotional, deep connection with this person. That can never happen because you can't have a relationship on a deep level with someone who can't go deep within themselves. That's right off the bat. But let's just say they can mask it with, you know, trips and money and attention and intimacy and whatever that looks like, big houses, I don't know, whatever, and fill that person up. At some point, even that's not going to be enough, because what they're really hopefully looking for is a connection with this person. And now, mind you, as this person, the narcissist, is giving this person what it is that they say that they need, they're also doing whatever they want on the side. And that doesn't necessarily mean physically cheating, but it does mean possibly being inappropriate, possibly lying, possibly being selfish, only worrying about themselves. A narcissist always plays tit for tat. So if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Or if I want something, I'm going to do something for you to essentially shut you up, for me to then be able to do whatever it is that I want to do. Remember that. So remember, every narcissist, and this is kind of like where the illusion comes into play, every narcissist is going to, you know, idealize and then completely devalue and then discard. Now, those three categories, and we hear about this stuff all the time, it's basically the stages of narcissistic abuse, essentially. Each stage is going to look different, and every relationship in the beginning goes through that honeymoon phase, 100%. But when real life starts settling in, this is where we start to devalue. So the minute the narcissist kind of has hooked the supply in terms of, you trust me, you actually on some levels feel like you need me more than I need you. Once the narcissist knows that that is the case, no matter who the person is, they are going to start devaluing, they may never actually discard, meaning physically leave, physically break up, physically actually get divorced. They may never actually do that. But the discard is also about being inappropriate, doing things behind your partner's back, being a womanizer, or being a woman that's always very flirtatious, or being inappropriate, or lying, or putting themselves first when they actually shouldn't. So that, and when we think about the devalue and the discard, we tend to think of the devalue meaning someone that's just so emotionally abusive and is constantly telling us that like we're no good or any of those things. It's just the most toxic people are not the people that are blatant with their abusive behavior. The most toxic people are the people that when they say something, you don't look at it and go, that was completely out of line. You look at it and you go, that was weird. Or I can't believe they said that. Was that hurtful? Where they kind of confuse you on their insults and their put downs and their ability to be unsupportive. That's really the psychological abuse right there. Because if someone walked up to you and said, you were a piece of crap, you're no good, that's like very obvious. Okay, you're not healthy. That's completely inappropriate. Why would you say that? But when someone just kind of chips away at your self-esteem little by little, that's oftentimes the stuff that we don't see. And when a narcissist knows that they really have you and that you're vulnerable now and you need them on a lot of levels, this is where the chipping away really begins. And as they begin to chip away, the new supply, the new partner comes in even more because they want to do everything to make this person not kind of feel the way that they do, even though they're not blatant insults. So remember, the phase is going to always continue. And I think sometimes either the illusion, like I said, that we suffer from is the illusion that we thought we were in a real relationship with an actual person. Then when we kind of come out of that relationship and we really understand, wow, I was in an emotionally abusive relationship. I was with someone who's narcissistic. And until you've been in those types of relationships, you have absolutely no idea the kind of animal that you're really dealing with and how severe the abuse actually was if it wasn't blatant abuse, if it was that hidden stuff. And that's the stuff that really takes time in order for you to heal and kind of work on. And that's why I coach, and that's why I've done all my programs, is to really help people with that kind of stuff, because it chips away at your soul essentially. And so when you come out of those relationships, really healing from that is essential. And when you're out of the relationship and you look at that person in a new relationship, understanding the illusions that you sometimes see as well and not feeding those also. So I hope this video has helped you. If you did, don't forget to click that like button, click that thumbs up down below. Don't forget to also click subscribe, and I will link all of my coaching options down below if you are interested in working with me or taking any one of my courses, and I will see you next week.